Hey Mo,
Hey.
how's it going?
Oh, it's going well. How about yourself?
Good, good. So excited to be joining us on our first Bomber Alumni Spotlight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just such a cool opportunity.
All right, we're gonna see. We can wait here to see if we have any more viewers. We got some people in the audience here watching it. We can hear them. All right, so Mo, we are so excited to have you here. We're joined here by Morgan Klaevemann, a senior at Florida State University. She played for the Bombers 8+ years, so many years underneath the Bomber belt, making waves and strides for the Bomber organization. You were also the 19th best player ranked in the country, and you were also All-American athletically and academically in 2017. Huge awards Morgan's has at Florida State since her freshman year. So, Morgan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, we'll just get started with the first question. Mo, what was it like playing back in your home state?
It was just such a cool experience. A lot of my family I haven't seen in 4 years since I've been up here. It's quite a long ways for a lot of them to travel. But it was just a cool experience to play in such a new environment, and then have half the stands, filled with my friends and family. But also too, it was cool for the Texas Knoll fans that normally get to watch us on TV now to get to see us play live in action. And then also too for the team to play on the road, first game in a new environment, new stadium, and to play a postseason team. It's really cool to have that experience under our belt, the first game out of the season. And so it's something we can look forward to and build upon as the season progresses. So overall, it's just a fun and awesome experience and I'm so happy that we got to do that.
That's awesome. That's really cool to be able to come back, like you said, and be able to play in front of some family and friends and fans for sure. You know, you have fans here back in Texas. So heading into this weekend undefeated, what can we expect from the Seminoles this season?
We get asked that question a lot, and with such a new team, it seems like we've lost a lot of great seniors last year, and we have a lot of awesome incoming freshmen, and so we don't really know the identity of this team yet. We don't know if we're going to be this huge power hitting home run team or we're going to be this fast paced scrappy team, and so um, we're just kind of building upon of what we've worked on in the fall and keep working and striding towards those goals that we have coming into the future. And so with the season starting, we're just waiting for that moment to click, and when that does, it's going to be extra special. And so going into the season, we just kind of take it day by day, and then try to learn and take advantage of the opportunities that are given to us each and every day.
That's good stuff, Morgan. Thank you again. I want to just thank everyone that's viewing with us right now for our first ever Bomber Alumni Spotlight. We're so thankful to have the viewers, and don't forget that you can send in your comments. We'll answer some comments from the audience at the end. So, Morgan, being a senior, what emotions do you have going into your last season at Florida State?
Oh, that's definitely a question I don't like to think about. It's definitely bittersweet. And they tell you that your 4 years fly by, and you don't really believe it until you're sitting in my shoes now, and you can't believe you're here. And so, thinking about what's ahead, it would be selfish of me to think of every game as a countdown, counting down the pitches and the innings. And so, I really try to focus on, as a team, and something Coach Alameda always says is, it's going to be somebody's first time, and it's going to be somebody's last time. So overall, let's make it a good time. And so going into the season is definitely bittersweet, and I'm going to try to take advantage of all the opportunities that are ahead of me. But it's definitely not a countdown. It's going to embrace every single moment that there is.
That's a really good way to look at it, and really good advice from your coach, Alameda. Morgan, how did being a Bomber help you prepare to be a collegiate softball player?
Oh man, I think about I'm in practice some days, and I think about what it was like as a Bomber and just how much it has prepared me for the collegiate level. You learn discipline. And with softball, it takes a lot of sacrifices, and so there's a lot of what you experience with the Bombers. I always had to travel 2 hours every time we had practice, and then 2+ hours every time we had a game, and so you definitely learn that discipline aspect, and also a commitment to not only, playing at the best level that you can and to improve every single day, but a commitment to an organization. You're representing the Bomber name, and a lot of those characteristics is what you expect at the collegiate level. You have discipline with your teammates, and your coaches, and expectations of where you should be and how hard you should work. And so a lot of those life lessons that I learned with Bomber softball have definitely carried with me into the collegiate level play. And so I couldn't have been more thankful for how the Bombers really developed me into the player I needed to be ready for the collegiate level.
Yeah, your family was definitely making that haul to practice. I remember that when we played together. So what do you think about all the changes within the Bomber organization, such as how we're in now 10 states and there is 80 teams?
It's insane. I started with the Bombers on the 96 Bombers, and that team is no longer, but just seeing the growth of the program is just absolutely amazing. It just shows, the level of play that's being such a known thing now, and having those expectations for the younger Bombers. And so being able to spread out into all those states is just so awesome for the organization, because it's so quality. You never get less than what you expect, and you're always going to have this great organization and family behind you. And so to see all the advancements the Bomber has made, I couldn't be more excited for those Bomber players that are being able to experience that, and then also grow their program from there. And so who knows what the Bomber program will be next year, the years to come. I just know there's a lot of great things in the future for that, and I couldn't be more proud of the organization and how well it's done for itself.
Yeah, the growth has been phenomenal here at the Bomber organization, such as having you here on the first ever Alumni Spotlight. So, Mo, how cool is it being the first Bomber player to go to Florida State? Now you have freshman teammate Rock Benavidez, and now Mackenzie Herzog coming up next year. I mean, you really paved the way for Bombers becoming Seminoles.
It's just a cool experience to make new strides for the Bomber name, and I would say it really reflects on the Bomber organization as a whole. Just that they develop quality players, and so being able to make that name for the Bomber organization at Florida State and another state, it's just a cool experience, and I'm honored to have opened that doorway for other players. And with Rock Benavidez here now, it's just cool, because I feel like I've known her my whole life, and so it's just been such an easy transition for her. I feel like just to have me there as a past teammate and now a present teammate, just to help her along the way. And so it's just a cool opportunity, and I couldn't be more honored to represent the Bombers at a higher level.
Yeah, that has to be really cool to have, almost like family, to be able to swap stories. How is it with your coach? How, what did you do at practice? And yeah,
definitely. And I think there's going to be a throwback Thursday picture of me and Rock soon, of us in our Seminole uniforms. So
that's gonna be awesome.
So it's gonna be it's really cool.
We'll definitely make sure to retweet that picture of y'all. Mo, so if there's girls that are looking up to you every single day, watching you rock it out there on the softball field, do you have any advice for the players following in your footsteps?
I would say, just staying true to what you want, and to working hard to what you want to be. And so, I working with the Bombers and being a part of the organization, you have all these goals that you want to achieve. And so finally being here and being at Florida State, and being such a part of such a great organization, and know that I've made an impact on it, to younger players, that can be you, and so it definitely takes a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices, but at the end, it's totally worth it. And so if it's what you want, if it's what you truly want, and you're willing to sacrifice some of those things that are not really that important in the end, it's totally doable. You just have to work hard for it every single day.
Just want to send out a reminder with any of the people that are watching, make sure to send in your comments for Morgan. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get firsthand advice from Morgan Klaevemann, a star from the Bomber organization. So Mo, what is one thing that you miss about playing with the Bombers? Is it traveling with your friends? Is it, seeing sights from travel ball? What is it?
It's probably maybe an obvious question, but you definitely miss your teammates and your friends. But, you can't really call them friends because they turn into family after all the time that you spend together. And yeah, traveling to different places and having a little sightseeing between games or, after the tournament is definitely cool. But you miss the time that you spend with your teammates and, seeing them out in the field now. And, sometimes I run into Katie Repley, who's a assistant coach at Virginia, and it's just so cool because I play them in conference and I see her, every once in a while. And so, making those lifelong friendships that you have and you see them, see them strive in their careers and see where they are now, it's definitely super, super cool to see. And that's definitely probably what I miss the most.
How cool is it to see and look back at your former teammates for the Bomber organization, see where they are now, see what they're doing? Like you said, Katie Repley, now an assistant coach at Virginia. How cool is it to be able to see where everyone's grown to?
Oh, it's so awesome, to see, where we all started at the same spot. We started with the Bombers, and now we have people all over, like we said, Katie Repley in Virginia, and then Brittany Gomez playing for the USA baseball team. There's just such awesome strides that they've made since I've known them as a Bomber, when we were 18, 16, 15. So it's just so cool to see how far they've come. And, definitely they deserve it because you've seen how hard they worked then. And just to see where they are, it makes you feel so proud for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're going to now head into some audience questions. So I'm going to show them right here, right on your screen. So then you'll just be able to answer back to them immediately. So here's our first audience question. Can you see him, Mo?
Yeah. So it's from Blaine Maestas. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name. The question is, would you recommend playing for your high school team or strictly travel, which offers more scouting? For me personally, I played for a really small high school team, and so my advice would be to that is to involve yourself with the travel ball. You're able to get yourself out there and expose yourself to college coaches. You get to go to college exposure tournaments. I mean, that's how I was recruited. And so I would say travel ball definitely gives you a really good avenue and platform to present yourself at higher level play than sometimes you wouldn't necessarily see at a high school team.
All right, thanks, Mo. Now we're going to go into the second question. Going to pull it up on the screen right now.
So the question is from Scott Smith, and he says, tell us your funniest story about Coach Snyder. Oh, man. Coach Snyder is a character. He's like my second dad almost. I would say pretty much every day with Coach Snyder is eventful. But some of the funniest moments are when we have these prep talks in the dugouts right before the game. And it's our goal as a team to get the most random object, and he has to turn it into a motivational speech. And he claims that, you can take anything, and if you just word it right, it can really make an impact. And so, like, one time we gave him a pen, and so he'll go off rambling about how you have to make your mark on the field and make yourself remember. You have to be that Sharpie pen and be permanent in their minds and in their hearts and know that they played Florida State softball. And so that's the first one that comes to mind, Coach Snyder. But every day is eventful with that man.
Some improv moments with Coach Snyder there, huh?
Definitely. He's maybe one of the funniest guys I've ever met.
All right, everyone, we want to make sure before we end to send in your comments. Like I said, this is a one-in-a-lifetime chance. We got Morgan Klaevemann on here with us to ask her anything about softball. I mean, anything about maybe, how it was playing for Coach Scott. I know there's some players out there, some parents watching. So right now, Mo, we're just going to throw some comments on here, show some of these people that are just leaving some fun comments. We got the 12U Bombers Gold watching.
Awesome. Hey, how's it going?
We have some other ones from Jennifer Vinton.
Oh, Mom. Was wondering what you were.
So we're going to just maybe see if we have any other ones. We got a few comments here coming in. We got another one from Jennifer right here.
Oh, I'm supposed to say hi, Mom.
There you go. Have a chance to say hi. Since you're all the way in Florida, I'm sure everyone misses you. Did you get to do anything while you were here in Texas with your family or friends?
Oh, yeah. So, unfortunately, our game was canceled on Sunday because of weather. But it kind of turned out quite nice because I got to spend some time with my family, got to go to lunch, and I got to go to my favorite taco place that's in San Marcos. And so I don't get that quality of tacos here in Florida. As you know, Texas is known for their Mexican food. And so that's definitely something you miss. And so I was super excited to eat at my favorite taco place. But it was super cool just to be with my family. Like I said, a lot of them I haven't seen in 4 years. And so I got to see like my great uncle and my first and second cousins. And so it was just so cool to be in Texas, and you really miss it. I'm a proud Texan, and so I miss it here and there.
You kind of cut in. Did you say you're a proud Texan?
Oh yeah, I'm a proud Texan. I miss it quite a few sometimes.
So we're getting in and out with this connection. I hope everyone can still see Morgan before we head off and being live. Morgan, few last questions. What is something that you wish you could have done while you were in Texas, since you don't get to come here very often?
Something I wish I could have done in Texas. Being in Texas, it was everything that I expected it to be. We got to play some high level teams, and we got to really see what we're made of and see what we've put in the fall to show up on the field. And so I would say Texas was a successful trip, and I didn't really expect anything less. I'd hope we'd maybe get that game in on Sunday. You always hope for games back. But being in Texas was everything I expected to be, and I couldn't have hoped for anything more.
Well, thank you so much, Morgan, for joining us on our first ever Alumni Spotlight. We appreciate you being here. Can you tell the audience when your next game is so they can make sure to tune in, whether it's, if they live in Florida or if they're going to maybe watch it on a different network or something like that?
So actually our next game is tomorrow, our first home game, last home game for me. No, we play against FAMU, and then this weekend we have our Big Ten ACC Challenge, which we're playing Minnesota and Michigan. And so you can see the times on our website, on the Seminoles website. And so super excited for those to come. And so if you make it out to the game, I'd love to see you there. And if you're tuning in from home, awesome. Love to grow the game of softball. And so thank you so much.
All right, Morgan, just real quick, because we had one comment come in before you log off, and then we'll definitely wrap it up. We have one more for Blaine right on the screen here. Thanks, Blaine, again for tuning in with us and sharing with us your comments.
So Blaine's question is, my daughter plays for the 18U West Texas Bombers. How many positions should she be able to play now on defense versus when she's 16, 18U? I would say, being able to play multiple positions just shows your athleticism. And so being an athlete is what really is most important when it goes to collegiate ball. And so if you can expose yourself to those positions now, it really shows your athleticism and skill, and that you can develop all of those things when you get into collegiate level. And so when you do get here, it's sometimes more about, okay, you can hit, where can we put you in the field? And so if you're a more flexible player, then it just really leaves the coaches a little bit more flexibility of where they can put you in the lineup and then also on the field. And so it's not necessarily about how many positions you can play. It's about developing your skills and athleticism and how you can better yourself on the field overall.
All right, Blaine, I hope you heard that. I know on my end, Morgan was cutting in just a little bit, but just again, we want to thank everyone that tuned and got to catch up with Morgan, who's a superb alumni for the Bomber organization. Morgan, again, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. Being a collegiate player cannot be easy. We know we had a little trouble with your schedules of classes and stuff. So again, thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. I couldn't be such a high honor to talk to the Bomber organization and just give back. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to follow us on social media at Bomber Fast Pitch. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and now YouTube. So make sure to go and subscribe and like all our stuff. We have all the videos that you can watch. This will also be on YouTube. So make sure if you want to watch it again, get some insight from Morgan, all the advice that she gave to the Bombers, maybe show your daughters what a college player should be talking about, should be looking like. And, you know, this is a great role model to follow behind at Florida State University. Morgan Klaevemann, thank you again. All right, everyone, we're going to log off. So I really hope you enjoyed that. Mo, see you later. Good luck this week.
Oh, thank you so much.
Bye, guys.